All right, welcome to week 10, everybody. This week we're going to talk about pedagogy, which is that teaching method. And we talked about how the roles of teachers have to change over time with integration of technology. And that means that teacher has to change the way they teach. So that's all about pedagogy. And there's some innovative pedagogies that we're going to look at. You're going to sign up for one type of pedagogy and do some research on that on your own. And then you're going to present that to your team. Now, the due dates on this are a little bit different this time because you're going to sign up by Tuesday midnight. And each one of the pedagogies that I have are going to be represented within each group. So I'm planning on, at this point, having 5 groups. And so within each group, each one of these pedagogies should be reflected. Now, I think in a couple of them, you might be missing one, but only one person only can sign up for each one within your group. And so if you want the one you really want, then you need to sign up early. And so then you're going to begin researching, and your project is not due until Sunday midnight. And let's look at that just a little bit. And so I kind of describe where you can go to look, what you need to be looking for, which are these things right here. You know, what it is, what it actually looks like in the classroom, benefits and challenges, an example of an actual teacher utilizing this pedagogy. And you can find that on Twitter. A lot of these pedagogies, like Flip Classroom up here, PBL for project-based learning, people are tweeting about those things and how they're implementing them in the classroom. And you can find examples there on Twitter. You can also find them with different kinds of searches. Just make sure that it's specific. It's not this general, like, Mr. Jones is using this in his classroom and he really likes it. No, it's not that. You need to have a link to it in a blog post or a tweet or something like that, because you do need to know how it's changed the classroom environment. If you come across a blog post that talks about that, that's fine to discuss that. But if you actually have to contact the teacher, like tweet at them or email them, then go ahead and do that to make that connection and to get that information. And then on a lot of the resources that I'm sure you'll find, you're going to see suggestions for teachers who plan to utilize this pedagogy. They want to change their teaching in some way. And what things do they need to think about? Do they need to think about having more devices or different kinds of desks in their classroom? Do they need to have a different kind of way for organization and keeping track of things, assessment tools? What do they need to do in order to make this happen? And within all of the information that you're supposed to be finding, you need to get it at least from 3 different sources and make sure that they are valid sources. We've talked about evaluating websites and all of that, and you need to apply that when you're doing your research as well. So after you have done a lot of research, I would suggest you create a Google Doc and just take notes along the way, but you don't have to do that. That's up to you. But then you're going to create your presentation. And I've decided this semester that I'm going to let people do it in a variety of ways. Whatever you choose is fine. If I don't have the tool or the method here, like I say, you can use a presentation if you want. You can do a video if you want. You can even create an infographic, which is kind of like what you did for your digital citizenship poster. Any of those are fine. If you want to do something different that I've not mentioned, present it to me. Give me an idea of what you want to do and kind of propose that to me, and we'll work out the details. So I put this here because no matter what you choose, it doesn't need to be 1,000 words on a slide with a bunch of points like this that are just, too many colors, too many words. It's just crazy. The font is little. And so just remember that. You can do a lot with images and labels and short bullet points. So the other requirements are you need to have at least 5 images throughout for that visual element, and already you need to have at least 3 resources given on either a resource slide if you're using a presentation, or a video, or if you want to do that on a separate Google Doc, I'm fine with that as well. And then you are actually going to post your presentation to your small group discussion board, number 5. And you're going to post that because it's not due until Sunday midnight. So this is a change. You are going to respond to each other by Tuesday of the next week. And yes, I know it goes into the next week, but I thought in order to give you enough time to do your presentations, then Tuesday of the next week would be good. You can do it earlier than that if you want to, but just make sure and include all these things on your post. A link that everybody can access, a short reflection of what you learned, and then whether you would actually utilize it in your pedagogy, and then respond to 2 people. This also includes adding this to your professional page, because this is a research presentation, and so you need to add that to your page and then either embed or link the presentation, and then you'll be done, besides submitting it on Blackboard. And so if you have any questions about any of that, please let me know. And it is good for you to get started earlier rather than later, because there's quite a few things to look for and to create once you get into it. So I hope you have fun with this, and I look forward to seeing what you come up with.